Hello, my ladies and gentlemen. How are you feeling? I am over the moon. Over the moon. I've got beautiful Jenny here. She is going to be our author for the Diamond Moment magazine for January, our issue number 6. And I was like, I said to my husband, I could not wait for this recording today. So, my beautiful Jenny, thank you for being our illuminated author. And if you're ready, I am
Ah,
ready.
oh
Action!
my gosh, here we go. Look, I'm Jael Keys and I'm from Adelaide, Australia. And I'm an author, a speaker, and a coach who uses reality therapy underpinned by choice theory to support those people that are experiencing mental illnesses with a focus on eating disorders because that was my main experience. And before I go any further, I would like to thank Sonne and Diamond Moments magazine for providing me with this wonderful opportunity to share a little bit about my message and my book and why I wrote it. Okay, so what is my main message through my book? Look, there's a lot of messages, but the main one is that how we relate impacts, and I'll refer to that again in a moment. When I was 15, I developed anorexia nervosa, and I did that until I was 24. At 24, I sort of came out of that, but then I developed a range of mental illnesses, including chronic fatigue, anxiety, fear, debilitating migraines, OCD, depersonalization, and suicidal depression. And just for a moment, I'd like to make us aware that globally at the moment, there are about 9% who are experiencing an eating disorder. One between six are experiencing a mental illness. And sadly, between the ages of 5 and 34, the leading cause of death is mental illness. So we need to put the spotlight on this particular development. And I believe with my journey, I have come up with a lot of understanding behind the dynamics of what actually causes the development of a range of mental illnesses. Because let's be honest, I've experienced a lot. Okay, so the first thing I did at the suggestion of great friends was to write my book. And here it is here, Anorexia Unlocked, Understanding Your Story Through Mine. My book is divided into 3 parts. The first part, look, my story is so big and it was really hard trying to confine it down, but I have 26 chapters dedicated to looking at the threads through my story, what created my downfall, and then more importantly, what brought me out at the other end. In the middle, I have 14 pearls of wisdom, as I've called them. And these are the learnings that I take from my journey and would like readers to put in their toolkit for their recovery journey or their understanding about mental illnesses. I should get my book up a bit better, but I aren't. And then the last part is just a little section on reality therapy underpinned by choice theory to provide understanding as to the therapy that really supported me. So coming back to the standout message, look, there's a lot of messages buried in here, but I'll just reference the pearl of wisdom number 1, and that is about relationships. Look, relationships have the ability to make or break us. The way we treat each other, the way we speak to each other, physically abuse each other, or whatever it is that we're doing to each other, has the opportunity from birth or from conception to shape the people that we become. It shapes our character, it shapes our life moving forward and the decisions that we make. And it also shapes, I strongly believe, our mental illnesses and the way our mind and our brain is configured and shaped throughout our lives. Look, my book, I will say, has been well received here in Australia, and I've received a lot of positive feedback, and it's helping a lot of people and drawing out a lot of information that people weren't aware of before. So I'm a little bit proud of that, I've got to say. And I'm also proud of the fact that a leading journalist, a lady in her own right, that is a #1 bestseller of 7 of her books, probably more in the making at the moment. She saw my book on somebody's table and she picked it up and began to flip through it. And she said to the person who owned it, am I able to meet the author? And that person said, yes, I'll put you in contact with Jael. And when I walked in to meet this lady, she held this book, this very book in her hand and said, I want to get this out to as many people as we can across the globe. It holds important messages that people haven't heard before. And I took that on board and I thought, you know what, it's been worth sitting down and writing this book and worth following up on perhaps getting my message out across the globe. I strongly believe that where mental illness or eating disorders is the suffering, we need to go to our story. Embedded in our story are the story elements or the clues as to why. And that's why we need to look at stories individually as well. And as we draw those clues out, we create positive solutions born from those clues. That's why we've got to treat everyone individually. And in doing so, recovery can be achieved. What do I want to achieve with my book? I would like to think that my story can support someone else's recovery story. So, in a nutshell, I hope that my recovery story becomes your recovery story. So, where can you purchase this book from? Go to my website, jlkeez.com.au, and click on the books first to read about that one and some other ones that I've got there. I'm just sharing with you. And then into the shop to see how you can purchase the book there, or you can go straight to Amazon. So thank you again to Diamond Moments Magazine, Sine and Sone. I hope I'm getting those names right. They're new to me, being South African. And yeah, thank you very much. I've thrown myself right at the end here because I've been concentrating so hard. But no, seriously, thank you for listening through this magazine. And I hope that my story can benefit you, or if it's not you, the person listening at the moment, somebody that you know. All the very best. And thank you so much for listening to me. Appreciate it. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. This is a wrap.